Whoa, scary, scary, scary. Well, I got myself a microphone, so I thought I could play the guitar this time, except I haven't actually played the guitar since the last lockdown that we had here last year. So I tried to learn a version of this today to sing to you. I kind of made up the chords to make them easy ones, so hopefully it sounds all right. It's Blues Run the Game, Jackson C. Frank. So who had a pretty miserable life, poor bugger. Uh, so it's not the story of my life. I just hasten to add it's not autobiographical. And if you don't like the way I play it, then please feel free to get in touch with me and give me private guitar lessons. Thanks. Take a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues are just the same. Call out for whiskey, honey, call out for gin. Me and room service, honey, me and room service, babe, me and room service, well, we're living a life of sin. Living is a gamble, honey, loving's much the same. Wherever I have played, wherever I've rolled them dice, wherever I have played the blues, I've run the game. Try another city, honey, another town. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues come following down. Maybe tomorrow, honey, someplace down the line, I'll wake up older, so much older, honey. I'll wake up older and I'll just stop all my trying. Take a boat to England, honey, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, wherever I've been and gone, wherever I have gone, the blues are just the same.
You see, you didn't need to practice that at all. Perfect. Okay, good start, Tara. Thank you. It's Paul Steele next, and after Paul, something from Tim Radford, please.
So, as briefly as I can tell it, my story is that in August in 2016, a dog bit off the top joint of my middle finger on my fretting hand. And I didn't want to talk about it then, and I don't really want to talk about it now, but I had a lot of support from my partner, Helen, and Corner, and family, and things like that. And one particular person, which was Keith Smart of the Zamatis Guitar Owners Club, was determined. I mean, I knew at the time I would never play the guitar again, but Keith was particularly determined that I would play again. And, and anyway, eventually I did. But 8 months after, which was on the 18th of April 2017, so as near as, damn it, the 4th anniversary, I came to Sharps. And somebody filmed me. So I know that I'm wearing the same jumper as I was 4 years ago. I was playing this guitar. And this is the first song that I relearned to play, and it's the one I did at Sharps then. So pardon me for the story. But hard times coming home now. You can't keep your feet on the ground. You've got some issues, but no one wants you around. You're barely sleeping and you can't get through to the VA on the phone. No one is hiring, no one wants to give you a loan. And everyone else is carrying on, just like they always did before. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Flashback to Fallujah, you lost another best friend. 3 tours of duty, and you wonder when it's all gonna end. Your body's broken and your bones are shattered. There's blood, there's dust in your mouth. You're getting weary, but you're running with the few and the proud. Sometimes you wonder why you went. You never wondered what you stayed on for. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Men go to war for 100 reasons. They all come home with the same demons. Some you can keep at bay for a while. Some will pin you to the floor. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war. Bedspread is fraying. It's faded, it's tearing apart. Two strangers holding one another in the dark. Tell me, what were you dreaming? How did you think it would end? How many heroes are scattered out there in the wind? And all those happy ever afters have turned to broken dishes and slamming doors. You've been home for a couple of years now, buddy, but you're still fighting the war.
Glad you picked up the guitar again, Paul. Yeah, and it seems to be going pretty well. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, it is time now for Tim Radford, and after Tim, Martin Neal.
Right, I want to say from the outset, I am not going to play guitar on this. This is a well-known song in England. Originally, I believe, written by a guy by the name of Joseph Geoghegan. I don't know how to actually pronounce his name, but this version was collected by Bob Copper and is in Songs of Southern Breezes, collected from John Johnson of Fiddleworth in Sussex. join in the chorus. I'm sure you can. It's Blow the Winds I.O. or 10,000 Miles Away. Oh, for a brave and a valiant bark, a brisk and a lively breeze, a bully crew and a captain too, to carry me over the seas. To carry me over the seas, my boys, to carry my love so gay. She's taken a trip in a government ship 10,000 miles away. So blow the winds I-O, and a sailing I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to me own true love 10,000 miles away. My true love, she is beautiful, my true love, she is young. Her eyes are blue as a violet's hue, and silvery sounds her tongue. And silvery sounds her tongue, my boys, but while I sing this lay, she's doing the grand in a distant land 10,000 miles away. So blow the winds I-O, and a sailing I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to me own true love 10,000 miles away. I wish I were but a boatswain boat, or only a bombardier. I'd hire a boat and hurry afloat, and straight to me love would steer. And straight to me love would steer, my boys, where the dancing dolphins play, where the whales and the sharks are having their larks 10,000 miles away. So blow the winds I-O, and a sailing I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to me own true love 10,000 miles away. The sun may shine through a London fog, and the Prent Thames run bright and clear. The ocean's brine may turn to wine, I may forget my beer. I may forget my beer, my boys, and the landlord's quarter day, but I'll not depart from my own sweetheart 10,000 miles away. So blow the winds I-O, and a sailing I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'll start by the morning train to cross the raging main, for I'm on the move to me own true love 10,000 miles away.
Beautiful. Oh, it's like doing bracket sharps.
Except at Sharps, you'd have heard the chorus.
I could hear them all.
Rousing stuff, rousing stuff. Okay, moving on to Martin Neil, follow that, and after Martin, something from Gwyneth Try.
Well, now for something completely different. I think. Well, yes. Once I loved a young girl as dear as my life, and I thought in my heart I would make her my wife, with her long cotton stocking and her high ankle shoes. And she wears a yellow handkerchief wherever she goes. So it's take a yellow handkerchief in remembrance of me, and wear it round your head, me lads, in flash company. Flash company, me boys, like a great many more.
If it hadn't have been for Flash Company, I should never have been so poor. Oh, it's fiddling and dancing were all my delight, but it's being in such company has ruined me quite. Ruined me quite, me boys, like a great many more. If it hadn't have been for Flash Company, I should never have been so poor. So it's take a yellow handkerchief in remembrance of me, and wear it round your head, me lads, in Flash Company. Flash Company, me boys, I like a great many more. If it hadn't have been for Flash Company, I should never have been so poor. Oh, it's once I had a colour as red as the rose, but now I'm as pale as the lily that grows, like some flower in the garden. My colour is all gone. Don't you see what I'm brought to through loving such a one? So it's take a yellow handkerchief in remembrance of me, and wear it round your head, me love, in Flash Company. Flash Company, me boys, I like a great many more. If it hadn't have been for Flash Company, I should never have been so poor. Flash Company. Right.
Very good, Mark.
Thank you, Martin, for that word of warning. Hopefully we will take your advice. Okay, it's time for Gwyneth and then something from David Kidman.
Right, I'm going to do one, the tune of which is very familiar to people of a certain age. Johnny Todd. It was collected in Liverpool and first published by Frank Kidson in 1891. Johnny Todd, he took a notion for to sail the ocean wide, and he left his true love behind him, weeping by the Liverpool tide. For a week she wept full sorely, tore her hair and wrung her hands. Then she met another sailor walking on the Liverpool sands. Why, fair maid, are you a-weeping for your Johnny gone to sea? If you'll wed with me tomorrow, I will kind and constant be. I will buy you sheets and blankets, I'll buy you a wedding ring. You shall have a silver cradle for to rock the baby in. Johnny Todd came home from sailing on the ocean wide, and he found his fair and false one was another the sailor's bride. All you men who go a-sailing for to fight the foreign foe, do not leave your love like Johnny, marry her before you go. Thank you.
Apparently to the tune of Z Cars, but it's a bit of a different delivery. So, yeah, great. Thanks, Gwyneth. It's time for David Kidman now, and then something from Graham Baldwin.
Right. Yeah, it couldn't be Z Cars, otherwise we'd have the folk police in. Now, I was going to do something rousing, but the tune to the one I was going to do has already been sung, so I'm left with the dilemma of singing something completely different. So from Z, we retrace our steps in the alphabet to the letter C. Stan Rogers, the Jeannie C. Come all ye lads, draw near to me, that I be not forsaken. This day was lost, the Jeannie see, and my living has been taken. I'll go to sea no more. We set out this day in the bright sunrise, the same as any other. My son and I, and old John Price, in the boat named for my mother. I'll go to sea no more. Now it's well you know what the fishing has been. It's been scarce and hard and cruel. But this day, by God, we sure caught cod, and we sang and laughed like fools. I'll go to sea no more. I'll never know what it was we struck, but strike we did like thunder. John Price gave a cry and pitched overside. Now it's forever, he's gone under. I'll go to sea no more. Now a leak we've sprung, let there be no delay. If the Jeannie see we are saving, John Price is drowned and slipped away. So I'll patch the hole while you're bailing. I'll go to sea no more. But no leak I found from bow to hold. No rock it was that got her. But what I found made me heart stop cold. For every seam poured water. I'll go to sea no more. My God, I cried as she went down, that boat was like no other. My father built her when I was 9, and named her for my mother. I'll go to sea no more. and sure I could have another maid in the boat shop down in Dover, but I would not love the keel they laid, like the one the waves roll over. I'll go to sea no more. So come all ye lads, draw near to me, that I be not forsaken. This day was lost, the Jeannie see, and my whole life has been taken. I'll go to sea no more.
Awesome.
Nicely done, David, and everyone else. The best way to thank David for that song is to remember to put the titles of your songs in the chat. Either that or a beer at some point, I suppose. Anyway, okay, now Graham Baldwin, and after Graham, something from Jeanne and Phil Revnell.
Oh, good evening, everybody. I was actually planning on doing a seasonal song for you, an April song, but that's been preempted by request, believe it or not. Just a little bit of a background. I mean, I've been coming to shops now for close to a year online, and I'm amazed at the talent that I see here. And every so often something jumps out at me is really good, and a fabulous songwriter. And that songwriter one of my favourite songwriters here is a fellow called Tom Reid, and I believe he's here tonight. And I've actually started doing a number of Tom songs. I think they're fairly simple songs, but they're incredibly moving. And this one in particular, I think, is the first one of Tom's that I learned. And Tom asked me to perform one of his songs tonight, so that's why I'm doing it. So here we go. I'm sure you'll all recognise this one. I'm sure Tom will anyway. Come gather round, comrades, so dear to my heart. Let's sing one last chorus, then we all must part. For no matter our trouble, there's joy in song. When together we'll all sing along. We'll all sing together. Together we'll sing. We'll raise up our voices till the rafters all ring. Our brothers and sisters, whether black, brown or white, when we all sing together, together tonight. I dream of a future for all humankind, of a world where no longer the blind lead the blind. Every creed, every colour will all be as one. When we lay down the sword and the gun, and we'll all sing together. Together we'll sing. We'll raise up our voices till the rafters all ring. Our brothers and our sisters, whether black, brown or white, when we all sing together, together tonight. So come fill up your glasses with good ale and wine. lift up your voices and chorus with mine, for the cares of tomorrow are all put to flight when we all sing together tonight. Oh, we'll all sing together, together we'll sing. We'll raise up our voices till the rafters all ring. Our brothers and sisters, whether black, brown or white, when we all sing together, together tonight. So now, my dear friends, I must bid you so long. May the road that you travel be paved with the sun. May you find love and laughter around every bend. And may we all meet here again. Come, we'll all sing together, together we'll sing. We'll raise up our voices till the rafters all ring. Our brothers and sisters, whether black, brown or white, when we all sing together, together tonight. Our brothers and sisters, whether black, brown or white, when we all sing together, together tonight. Thanks, Tom.
I'm not sure whether the etiquette means that I thank Graham and Tom or what, but anyway, yeah, thanks for that. Okay, now Jeanne and Phil, and then something from Jim Lucas.
Thanks. This is a song by Bill Meek about the decline of the steel industry in the northeast. It's called Another Morning.
Has a link with my family. You'll hear about the clogs in the song, and my great-grandfather was a clog maker, and my grandmother used to tell tales of how she would hear the clogs first thing in the morning going to the factories and the works. 6 o'clock and a new day dawning. I lie in my warm white bed alone. Hear the swish of the tires of the cycling men, and the rattle of the milk on the doorstep stone. On another morning, frost on the pane and the street lights yellow. Door slams loud in the winter's air. Listen for the click of the clog irons come down the long street and across the square. On another morning, turn of the key and I know he's with me. Back from the night that I could not know, from the steaming breath and the shouting men, and the arc lights bright on the trampled snow. On another morning, and the fire burns high with a laugh and a roaring. The tea's hot and strong and the bones soon thaw, and I creep down the stairs to the warm belonging, the joy of the old man home once more. on another morning. Lie in my bed, hear the new day rising, but know in my heart that it's not the same. As my dreams drift back to the old dead days, I remember the times when the clock hands came on another morning. I remember the times when the clock hands came on another morning.
That's a new one on me, Jeanne and Phil. Thanks for that. And it's now time for Jim Lucas and then something from Clive Woolf.
Yes. Well, what I'm going to do this time is one I actually had in mind for 2 weeks ago for the birthday, John White, and but there were many others and I didn't get in the line. In fact, it was more for his age than the fact it was his birthday. Nevertheless, I'm going to sing it today for my birthday. Oh, what was my key? There's lots to be said for the guy who's not. There's lots to be said for the guy who's not. I've got the wrong tune. Just a second, maybe I can. There it is. Oh, there's lots to be said for the guy who's not dead, for the guy who's still breathing the air. Don't wait for his wake, but let's bake him a cake while he's still here to eat up his share. And the chorus, bring flowers, not lilies, but roses in showers. Bring lilacs and daisies and daffodils sweet for the guy who is still on his feet. Now we'll all shed a tear and we'll moan in our beer for our buddy when he's been laid out. Let's give him a cheer while he is still here to hear what we're cheering about. Bring flowers, not lilies, but roses in showers. Bring lilacs and daisies and daffodils sweet for the guy who is still on his feet. Oh, the way people die in the blink of an eye from every conceivable cause. When a fellow is found who is still above ground, he deserves our sincerest applause. Bring flowers, not lilies, but roses in showers. Bring lilacs and daisies and daffodils sweet for the guy who is still on his feet. Then here's to the lad, be he good, be he bad, who batters our ears with his jive. We'll drink him a cup when his number is up, but we like him much better alive. Bring flowers, not lilies, but roses in showers. Bring lilacs and daisies and daffodils sweet for the guy who is still on his feet. And I'll allow a couple of amendments. For those with hay fever, you might want to substitute chocolate or something else. And during the pandemic, maybe send flowers instead of bringing them, but we hope it will soon be possible to bring them.
Send emails, send emails. Maybe that's the COVID version. Anyway, thanks, Jim. I think we're going to have to sing Jim happy birthday since it's actually today. I'm so sorry to inflict this on the masses, but it has to be done in time-honored tradition. So please unmute yourselves and we shall sing happy birthday to Jim, and it's going to sound absolutely horrible. It seems to sound worse every time. Right, let's give it a shot.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jim. Happy birthday to
Why
you.
was he born so beautiful? Why was he born at all? He's no bloody use to anyone. He's no bloody use at all.
And these are my old.
Wasn't expecting that last bit. Amazing. Great. Okay. So, where are we? We are with Clive Woolf, and after Clive, it will be Steve Suffet.
Then forget the guitar account.
Oh.
It's of a rich farmer in Cheshire. To the market his daughter would go, not thinking that any should harm her. She'd been that way oft times before. She was met by a ruffian robber that caused the young woman to stand. Your money and gold now deliver, or else your sweet life is at hand. But he stripped this fair damsel stark naked, and he gave her the bridle to hold. She stood there a shivering and shaking, starving to death with the cold. But she put her left foot in the stirrup, and she mounted the horse like a man. Over hedges and ditches she galloped, crying, "Catch me, bold rogue, if you can." Well, the bold rogue he soon followed after, which caused him to puff and to blow. Thank God that he never did catch her, till she came to her father's own door. Oh, daughter, dear daughter, what's happened? Oh, father, to you I will tell. I was met by a ruffian robber. Thank God he has done me no harm. Put the grey mare into the stable and spread the white sheet on the floor. She stood there counting the money. She counted 5,000 or more. £5,000 is a big fortune. Dear daughter, I'll give you 5 more. £10,000 is a big fortune to keep the wild wolf from the door. And now she's a lady of honour, and she in a carriage does ride, with servants to waiting to pardon her, and a footman to ride by her side. End.
Wild wolf indeed.
Good for her and good for you, Clive. Okay, it is time for Steve Suffet now, and then Tamsin Try.
I'm going to try something a little new. I have my banjo with me, which I've used before, but I put it in a very different tuning. It's a double drone. It's not only the 5th string is a drone, that's an F, but the 1st string is also going to be a drone. That's a B flat, so it's a B flat double drone tuning. When John Henry was a little baby, and he sit on his daddy's knee. He picked up a hammer and a little piece of steel. Hammer's gonna be the death of me, Lord God. Hammer's gonna be the death of me. Well, the captain, he said to John Henry, said, I got me a steam drill now. I got me a steam drill out on the job. I whip that cold steel down, down, down. I whip that cold steel down. But John Henry, he said to that captain, said, a man ain't nothing but a man. Before I let that steam drill beat me on down, I'll die with my hammer in my hand, Lord God. Die with my hammer in my hand. John Henry, he says to the shaker, he said, shaker, why don't you sing? I'm swinging 20 pounds from my hips on down. Just listen to my cold steel ring, ring, ring. Listen to my cold steel ring. John Henry, he hammered on the mountain. It was on the mountain so high. He beat that drill to the bottom of the hill. But he laid down his hammer and he died, good Lord. He laid down his hammer and he died. Now the man that ran that steam drill, he thought he was doing mighty fine. John Henry, he hammered more than 17 feet. That steam drill, it only done 999. Steam drill, it only done 9. They took his body to the graveyard and they buried him down in the sand. And every time that a train goes by, says there lies a steel driving man, good Lord. There lies a steel driving man. Now John Henry, he had a pretty woman, and her name was Polly Ann. The very same day that they laid him in his grave, Polly Ann drove Steele like a man, like a man. Polly Ann drove Steele like a man. Said Polly Ann drove Steele like a man, like a man. Said Polly Ann drove Steele like a man. John Henry.
Lovely.
I'm liking that banjo. I think that works. Okay, thanks, Steve. It's time now for something from Tamsin, and after Tamsin, could we have Pete and Maggie, please?
Hello. This is the Cruel Mother. There was a lady lived in York, all alone and lonely. She was courted by her father's clerk, down by the greenwood siding. She leaned her back against an oak, all alone and lonely. But first it bent and then it broke, down by the greenwood siding. She leaned herself against a thorn, all alone and lonely. And there she had two pretty babes born, down by the greenwood siding. She had a penknife long and sharp, all alone and lonely. And she pressed it through their tender hearts, down by the greenwood siding. She dug a grave both wide and long, all alone and lonely, and buried them under a marble stone down by the greenwood side. And then she was sat at her father's hall, all alone and lonely. There she saw two babes playing at ball, down by the greenwood side. Oh babes, if you were mine, all alone and lonely, I would dress you up in the scarlet fine, down by the greenwood side. Oh mother, we once were thine, all alone and lonely. You did not dress us in the scarlet fine, down by the greenwood side. You dug a grave both wide and long, all alone and lonely, and you buried us under a marble stone, down by the greenwood side. Babes, oh babes, come tell to me, all alone and lonely, if you know what the future means for me, down by the greenwood side. Mother, oh mother, you know quite well, all alone and lonely, 'tis we for heaven and you for hell, down by the greenwood side.
Well sung, Tamsin.
Great. Oh, my song.
Nicely done, Tamsin. Yeah, very sinister song and sinister kind of tune as well. Yeah, great. Okay. Pete and Maggie now for something probably completely different, and then something from Marty Stock, please.
Yeah, God.
Yes, something completely different. Just like to point out it's our friend Mary Hogan's birthday as well.
Sunday. Last
oh,
Sunday.
Oh, just been. There you go. Yes, something completely different. We thought we'd play you a tune.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
You got one of the audience up and dancing, and I count that as a big result. Lovely. Okay, time now for Marty Stock, and then something from Chris Lamb. I have noticed there's a few singers who haven't put their hands up yet, so there is actually space so far later on in the evening. So if you have an inclination, even half an inclination to sing, and you'd like to, and you haven't yet indicated, then please put your hand up and you'll be on the singers list. Okay, so over to you, Marty.
Okay, this is a seasonal song from Newfoundland. It's about a fellow who's hauling his wood across icy ponds as a shortcut, but does it a little too late in the season. Almost gets into trouble. Tickle Cove Pond. In cutting and hauling, in frost and in snow, we're up against troubles that few people know. And it's only by courage and patience and grit, and eating plain food that we keep ourselves fit. The hard and the easy we take as they come. When ponds freeze over, we shorten our runs. To hurry in my hauling with spring coming on, near lost me my mare out on Tickle Cove Pond. Lay hold, William Alford, lay hold, William White, lay hold of the cordage and pull all your might. Lay hold on the bowline and pull all you can, and give me a lift for poor Kit on the pond. I knew that the ice was growing weaker each day, but still took the risk and kept hauling away. One evening in April, bound home with a load, my mare showed some halting against the ice road. She knew more than I did as matters turned out. Been lucky for me had I joined her in doubt. She turned round her head and with tears in her eyes, as if she were saying, you're risking our lives. Lay hold, William Alford, lay hold, William White, lay hold on the cordage and pull all your might. Lay hold on the bowline and pull all you can, and give me a lift for poor Kit on the pond. All this I ignored with a whip-handle blow, for man is too stupid, dumb creatures to know. And the very next moment the pond gave a sigh, and up to our necks went poor Kitty and I. If I had taken wise Kitty's advice, I ne'er would have made that shortcut on the ice. Poor creature, she's dead, and poor creature, she's gone. I'll ne'er get my mare out of Tickle Cove Pond. Lay hold, William Alford, lay hold, William White, lay hold on the cordage and pull all your might. Lay hold on the bowline and pull all you can, and give me a lift for poor Kit on the pond. I raised an alarm you could hear for a mile, and neighbors showed up in a very short while. You can always rely on the Oldfords and Whites to render assistance in all your bad plights. To help a poor neighbor is part of their lives. Same can be said for their children and wives. When the bowline was fastened around the mare's breast, William White for a shanty song made a request. There was no time for thinking, no time for delay. Straight from his head came the song right away. Lay hold, William Alford, lay hold, William White, lay hold on the cordage and pull all your might. Lay hold on the bowline and pull all you can, and give me a lift for poor Kit on the pond. Lay hold, William Alford, lay hold, William White, lay hold on the cordage and pull all your might. Lay hold on the bowline and pull all you can. And with that, we got Kit out of Tickle Cove Pond.
Good song.
Well sung.
That's a cracker of a song and a great story. Must be true. It must be. Okay, it's over to Chris Lamb now, and then we'll have Sheila Miller, please.
Okay, this is a traditional April song which hasn't been sung here this year so far. It was sung last year, but the person who sang it isn't here at the moment, so I'm going to give it a go. 'Twas on one April morning, just as the sun was rising. 'Twas on one April morning, I heard the small birds sing. They were singing lovely Nancy, for love it is of fancy. And sweet were the notes that I heard the small birds sing. Young men are false and are full of all deceiving. Young men are false and they seldom do prove true. For they're roving and they're ranging, and their minds are always changing, and they're thinking to find out some other girl that's new. Oh, if I had but my own heart in keeping. Oh, if I had but my own heart back again. Close in my bosom I would lock it up forever, and it should wander never so far from me again. So why would you spend all your long time in courting? Why would you spend all your long time in vain? For I don't intend to marry, I would rather longer tarry. Oh, young man, don't you spend your single life in vain. 'Twas on one April morning, just as the sun was rising. 'Twas on one April morning, I heard the small birds sing. They were singing lovely Nancy, for love it is a fancy. And sweet were the notes that I heard the small birds sing.
Yes.
Has to be done at this time of year, Chris. Thank you. The birds are singing as well, even though it's freezing cold. Anyway, they're optimists, I guess. So Sheila, over to you now, and after you, something from Rory.
A very different song. This was written by John Matthews, who was one of the stalwarts of the Norwich Folk Club in the days when I used to go to the Norwich Folk Festival and stay with the Bellamys, Peter and Anthea, I mean, obviously. Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm not going to say any more about it. It would be sort of obvious. I'll sing you a song before very long, if I can remember the words. If I can remember the words. If I can remember the words. It was something about a bold sail I o'er, lately returned from the shore, from sailing the East Indies. That I can't remember no more. Oh yes, I can. There was also a fair pretty maiden, her name it was Nancy for sure. She'd waited long years for her sail I o'er, then she couldn't wait any more. There were blackbirds and blacksmiths and thrushes, all singing on every green spray. Someone wore a black shawl, or was it nothing at all? And somehow I'm sure it was May. Oh, Nancy had missed her dear sailor, for staying at home was no fun. And I think that somebody was pregnant, but I can't remember which one. Well, the sailor was most understanding, and Nancy, she cried quite a lot. But he didn't tell her all his secrets, the best bits we both have forgot. He told her of cruel privations while rounding the Horn in a gale, but never a word of relations with cabin boys male and female. Then putting his hands in his pockets, a handful of broken tokens he shows, and he says to his own dearest jewel, "Do you recognize any of those?" But somehow I'm sure that the sailor had silver and gold in great store, and wedding bells chimed to Wild Mountain time. They don't write 'em like that anymore. John Matthews.
Beautiful. Fantastic, Sheila.
Great stuff, Sheila. I love the do you recognise any of those? It's just great. Although that song would make no sense at all to people unfamiliar with the folk canon, really. Okay, over to Rory now, and after Rory, could we have Alison Frostick?
There was a recent article I read somewhere about the final note of this song, which is a classic from the Penguin Book of English Folk Songs, which evidently Bert Lloyd or Vaughan Williams, one of the two, changed. But so I'm trying to use both endings, but it's been rattling around my head. I must be going, no longer staying. The burning Thames I have to cross. Oh, I will be guided without a stumble into the arms of my dear lass. When he came to his true love's window, he's knelt down gently on a stone, and it's through the pane he's whispered slowly, "My dear girl, do you lie alone?" She rose her head from her down soft pillow, and snowy were her milk-white breasts, saying, who's there at my bedroom window, disturbing me at my long night's rest? Oh, I'm your lover, but don't discover. I pray you rise, love, and let me in, for I am fatigued out of my long night's journey. Besides, I am wet unto the skin. This young girl rose and put on her clothing. She's quickly let her own true love in. Then they've kissed, shook hands, and embraced each other, until that long night was at an end. Then it's Willie dear, oh handsome Willie, where is that colour you'd some time ago? Oh Mary dear, the clay has changed me. I am but the ghost of your Willie-o. Then it's cock-o, cock-o, handsome cockerel, I pray you not crow before 'tis day, and your wings I'll make of the very first beaten gold, and your comb I'll make of the silver A. But the cock he crew, and he crew so fully, he crew 3 hours before 'twas day, and before 'twas day my love had to go away, not by the light of the moon nor the light of the day. Then it's Willie dear, oh handsome Willie, whenever shall I see you again? When the fish they fly, love, and the seas run dry, love, and the rocks they melt in the heat of the sun. Grey cock.
Lovely, Rory. Well sung.
It's looking for pardon me. It's looking like a good night for traditional ballads, Rory. So thanks for that. Okay, time for Alison now, and then after Alison, I think we'll have Riggy.
Thank you. I'm also going to do a traditional ballad. I don't do them very often, but this one I fell in love with when I heard Oliver Mulligan sing it. So I researched it a bit and listened to Liz Cronin's version as well, and then sort of came up with my own take on Lord Gregory. I am a king's daughter who strayed from Cappoquin in search of Lord Gregory. Pray God I will find him. Oh, the wind blow through my yellow locks, the dew wet my skin, the babe is cold in my arms, Lord Gregory, let me in. Lord Gregory's not home, love, and henceforth can't be seen. He's away to bonny Scotland to bring home his new queen. So leave now these windows, and likewise this hole, for 'tis deep in the ocean, you must hide your downfall. Who will shoe my babe's little feet? Who'll put gloves on her hand? Who will tie my babe's middle with a long green ribbon band? Who will comb my babe's yellow locks with an ivory comb? Who will be my my will. Oh, yours was fine silver, mine blocked in. Oh, and yours cost 1 shilling, love, and mine but 1 cent. Do you remember, Lord Gregory, that night in Cappoquin? We exchanged our pocket handkerchiefs, and that against my will. Oh, and yours was fine linen, mine coarse cloth. Oh, yours cost 1 guinea, and mine was 1 groat. Do you remember, Lord Gregory, that night in my father's hall? You stole away my fond heart, and that was worst of all. Leave now those windows, and likewise this hall, for 'tis deep in the ocean you must hide your downfall. My curse upon you, mother, my curse it being sore. I dreamt I heard the lass of Worms a-knocking on my door. Oh, lie down, you foolish son. Oh, lie you down and sleep, for it's long ago her weary head is a-waving in the deep. Come, saddle me my black horse, the brown or the bay. Oh, saddle me the best horse in my stable this day. Over mountains I'll travel, and valleys I'll ride, until I find that lass of Worms, and lie down by her side.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Good one.
Like I said, a very good night for traditional ballads. So yeah, keep it going, folks, or sing something completely different. Riggy, it's up to you what happens next. And we will then
Okay.
have Wendy to possibly finish the first half. We might have time for another person depending on the length of the songs. But Riggy first and then Wendy.
I had the pleasure of a lot of the people in the room's company yesterday. I did a concert in London. It was so satisfying. It is up on Facebook, so you can see it there if you missed it. But I sang this song to open the concert. It's an immigration song from the Ohio River Valley. Come all you brisk young fellows who are inclined to roam, all in some foreign country, a long, long way from home. All in some foreign country, along with me you'll go. When we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio, when we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio. Come all ye pretty fair maids, spin us some yarn, and make us all some clothing to keep us all so warm. You can spin and sew, my loves, while we do reap and mow. When we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio, we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio. There's fishes in the river, just fitted for our use. There's tall and lofty sugar cane that'll give to us its juice. There's every type of game, boys, and always buck and doe. When we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio, when we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio. Oh, the grass is always green, my friends, the river's clear as glass. There's room for all our families, for every lad and lass. Such beauty in abundance, it's almost just like home. When we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio, when we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio. Come all you brisk young fellows who have a mind to roam unto some foreign country a long, long way from home. Oh, in some foreign country along with me you'll go. When we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio, when we settle on the banks of the lovely Ohio. The lovely Ohio.
Lovely.
Lovely Ohio, lovely song. Thanks, Riggy. Okay, it will be Wendy to finish the first half, and we'll do it all again in the second half, but with different singers. So, Wendy, what do you have for us?
It's sort of about a river. It's following on from Riggy, but it's not an old-fashioned ballad. So a change. It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk that makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. And it's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that are dried upon some line that keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memories, that keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy planted on their columns that now binds us, nor something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. It's just knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk along some railroad track and find that you're waving from the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and for hours you're gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some man is crying to his mother 'cause he turned and I was gone, I might still run and silent tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind, but not to where I cannot see you, walking on the back roads by the rivers, flowing gentle on my mind. You're waving from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind.
Lovely.
My wife.
Taking us gently into the break, Wendy. Thank you. So make sure we get everyone and half of that sentence. And Simon, it's over to you and Mary Hogan afterwards.
Okay, this is a. You'll all know this song. This is a great song from the American Songbook. I don't know. I don't think it's called traditional because we can still remember who authored it. Is that, I don't what the definition of traditional is. I'm not quite sure these days. If somebody's got one, I'd love to see it on the chat. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, while we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty and music light and gay, there are frail forms fainting at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a pale, sorrowed maiden who toils her life away, with a worn heart whose better days are o'er. Though her voice would be merry, 'tis sighing all the day. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
that is wafted across the troubled wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard across the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around our cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Lovely, Simon. Reminds me of, I used to sing that with the Women's Socialist Choir, Eurydice in Glasgow, and the line with, there's a pale drooping maiden, usually someone would turn up at the door, drooping a bit, which was quite handy. All right, enough of that. Okay, it's over to Mary Hogan, and after Mary, could we have Kathy Dent, please?
I think we all have hard times in our lives, but I think some people have more hard times than others. And my song is about the element that leads to that, which is luck and fortune. It's called There But For Fortune. You know, so much depends on where you were born, who your parents were, even your genes. It's a beautiful song. It was written by Phil Ox and made well known by Joan Baez. Show me the prison, show me the jail, show me the prisoner whose life has gone stale. And I'll show you, young man, with so many reasons why. There but for fortune, go you or I. You are right. Show me the alley, show me the train, show me the hobo who sleeps out in the rain. And I'll show you, young man, with so many reasons why. There but for fortune, go you or I, you are right. Show me the whiskey stains on the floor. Show me the drunkard as he stumbles out the door. And I'll show you, young man, with so many reasons why. There but for fortune, go you or I, you are I. Show me the country where the bombs have to fall. Show me the ruins of the buildings once so tall. And I'll assure you, young man, with so many reasons why, there but for fortune, though you are I, you are I. Show me the prison, show me the jail, show me the prisoner whose life has gone stale. And I'll show you, young man, with so many reasons why, there but for fortune, though you are I, you are I. You are I.
So true, Mary. Very true, and nicely done. Okay. Did I say Kathy Dent? I hope I did, because you're next on the list. And after Kathy, we've got a run of women to start this. Well, almost. Simon's not one of them, but yeah, run of women to do early in the second half. It's Kathy followed by Pal Carter.
Okay, no chorus in this one, I'm afraid. Old Irish one. The lambs on the green hills, they sport and they play, and many strawberries grow around the salt sea, and many strawberries grow round the salt sea, and many's the ship sails the ocean. The bride and bride's party to church they did go. The bride she rode foremost, she bears the best show. But I followed after with my heart full of woe, to see my love wed to another. The first place I saw her, 'twas in the church stand, gold rings on her finger, and her love by her hand. Says I, my wee lassie, I will be your man, although you are wed to another. The next place I saw her, 'twas on the way home. I ran on before her, not knowing where to roam. Says I, my wee lassie, I'll be by your side, although you are wed to another. Stop, stop, says the groomsman, till I speak one word. Will you venture your life on the point of my sword. For courting so slowly, you've lost this fair maid. So be gone, for you'll never enjoy her. Oh, make now my grave long, wide and deep, and sprinkle it over with flowers so sweet, and lay me down in it to take my last sleep, for that's the best way to forget her. Lambs on the
Good stuff, Kathy. Over to Pal now, and then it will be Mara Levine.
Right, another ballad then. Also another song recorded very nicely by Joan Byers. Word is to the kitchen gone, and word is to the hall, and word is up to Madam the Queen, and that's the worst of all. That Mary Hamilton's born a babe to the highest steward of all. Arise, arise, Mary Hamilton, arise and tell to me, what hast thou done with thy wee babe? I saw and heard weep by thee. I put him in a tiny boat and cast him out to sea, that he might sink or he might swim, but he'd never come back to me. Arise, arise, Mary Hamilton, arise and come with me. There is a wedding in Glasgow town, this night we'll go and see. She's put not on her robes of black, nor yet her robes of brown, but she's put on her robes of white to ride into Glasgow town. And as she rode into Glasgow town, the city for to see, the bailiff's wife and the provost's wife cried, "Oh, and alas for thee! You need not weep for me," she cried. "You need not weep for me. Had I not slain my own wee babe, this death I would not die." Then by and came the king himself, looked up with a pitiful eye. Come down, Mary Hamilton, tonight you'll dine with me." Ah, hold your tongue, my sovereign liege, and let your pity be. For if you'd a mind to save my life, you'd never have shamed me. Cast off my gown, she cried, but let my petticoat be, and tie a napkin round my face, the gallows I would not see. Last night I washed the Queen's own feet, put the gold all in her hair, and the only reward I find for this, the gallows to be my share. Last night there were 4 Marys, tonight there'll be but 3. There was Mary Peter and Mary Seaton and Mary Carmichael and me.
Lovely, Carl.
The ballads keep rolling in. That was fab. And verses I don't think I've heard you sing before, pal. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, great stuff. Okay, so Mara Levine is up next, and I'm beginning to lose the plot and the place, but I think this is Mara's first time singing here. If not, please correct me, Mara. But welcome, however many times you've been here, and looking forward to you sing. And after Mara, something from Kate Porto, please.
Thank you very much. It's my second time, actually. I'm very, very excited to be here. I'm going to do So Will We Yet, which was Walter Watson and Tony Cuff around 1854. I'm actually sort of doing the Ann Dotson version of that. Come sit down, you cronies, and give us your crack. Let the wind take the cares of this life from your back. For our hearts to despondency we never will submit, for we've always been provided for, and so will we yet. And so will we yet, and so will we yet. For we've always been provided for, and so will we yet. Come fill up your glasses with nappy brown ale. It'll lighten your heart and enliven the tale. For we've always been the merrier the longer that we sit. For we've drunk together many's the time, and so will we yet. And so will we yet, and so will we yet. For we've drunk together many's the time, and so will we yet. Here's a health to the farmer who prospers the plough, rewarding his ardent toils all the year about. From seed time to harvest, he always will get, for he's left it all to Providence, and so will we yet. And so will we yet, and so will we yet. For we've left it all to Providence, and so will we yet. Come fill up your tankards, let the bottle go round. The sun it will rise, though the moon has gone down. Though the room be spinning all around, there's time enough to flick. When we fell, we always got up again, and so will we yet. And so will we yet, and so will we yet. When we fell, we always got up again, and so will we yet. And so will we yet, and so will we yet. When we fell, we always got up again, and so will we yet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mara, and glad you came back for a second song, and hopefully you'll keep coming. Yeah, you could hear the choruses going round almost, but not quite. Okay, it's time now for Kate Portal, and then it's over to Dave Harbord. Are you there, Kate? Oh, you unmuted very briefly and then muted yourself again. Still on mute. Okay, can I unmute you if you? I'll just. Yeah, that's worked. That's worked.
Is that? Can you hear me now?
You're on. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure there was a major event which occurred this week, which has probably bored quite a few people in the amount of coverage it had. Now, my grandfather was very active in the Navy during the Second World War. He was also a really good singer, and he taught me this song. And I think in the afterlife, if he ever met Prince Philip, this is what he'd sing to him. Once I was a sailor big and broad, shipped on board a whaler and tumbled overboard. Someone shouted, "Save him!" Someone cried, "Go hang!" Those sharks are swimming round you and my ship. Mates sang, "Oh, blimey, swim, Sam, swim, and show them you're some swimmer. Swim just like the swans, Sam. You know how the swans, Sam. Sweet six sharks are going to snap your limbs. So swipe them swiftly while they swoop and swim, Sam, swim." So I swam with vigor, the race had just begun. The sharks all liked my figure, "Oh, jelly," shouted one. Some old portly porpoise popped up in the foam and shouted, "If you want to catch your last train home, oh, blimey, swim, Sam, swim, and show them you're some swimmer. Swim just like the swan, Sam. You know how the Snow White swan swam, Sam. Six sharks, shimmering sharks, are going to snap your limbs. So swipe them swiftly while they swoop and swim, Sam, swim." Oh. Thank you.
Thanks for that tongue twister, Kate. Good stuff. Okay. It is over to Dave Harbord now, and then something from Deirdre, please.
Hi, yeah, I've sung this one here, or said it a few times before. It's an early example of rapping, really, I think. Anyway, it was written originally in 1942. Pete Seeger added to it and altered it. And it involves me partly singing in a US accent, which I don't like to do. I don't like imitating accents, but I can't seem to handle it in my own accent. So anyway, here we go. If you want higher wages, let me tell you what to do. You got to talk to the workers in the shop with you. You got to build your union, got to make it strong. And if you all get together, well, it won't be long. You get shorter hours, better working conditions, vacations with pay, take your kids to the seashore. Of course, it ain't quite that simple, so I better explain just why you got to ride on the union train. If you wait for the boss to raise your pay, you'll be waiting till the judgment day. You'll all be buried, gone to heaven. St. Peter will be the straw boss then. Now, you know you're underpaid, but the boss says you ain't. He speeds up the work till you're about to faint. You may be down and out. But you ain't beaten. You can pass out a leaflet and call a meeting. Talk it over. Speak your mind. Decide to do something about it. Of course, the boss may persuade some poor damn fool to go to your meeting and act like a stool. But you can always tell the stool, though that's a fact. He's got a yellow streak running down his back. He doesn't have to stool. He'll always get along on what he takes out of blind men's cups. You got a union now. You're sitting pretty. Put some of the boys on the steering committee. The boss won't listen if one guy squawks, but he's got to listen if the union talks. He better. He'd be mighty lonely one of these days. Everybody decides to walk out on him. Suppose you're working you so hard it's just outrageous and they're paying you all starvation wages. You go to the boss would yell, "Before I raise your pay, I'll see you all in hell." And he's puffing his big cigar, feeling mighty slick because he thinks he's got your union licked. But he looks out the window and what does he see? About 1,000 pickets, and they all agree he's a bastard. Unfair! Slave driver. I bet he beats his wife. Now, folks, you come to the hardest time. The boss will try and bust your picket line. He'll call out the police and National Guard. They tell you it's a crime to have a union card. They may raid your meeting, hit you on the head, call every one of you a doggone red. You're unpatriotic, Moscow agents, fake news peddlers. Well, up in Birmingham, here's what they found. Down in Portland, here's what they found. Out in Selma, here's what they found. If you don't let racist policemen break you up, if you don't let stool pigeons break you up, and you don't let race hatred break you up, you'll win. What it means, take it easy, but take it. Thank you.
I think I speak for all the Americans here that we forgive you for the accent and thank you for that. Okay, it's over to Deirdre now and then something from Tom Reid.
Hi, everybody. Sheila, I'm wearing this for you because I can't get my hair cut yet, so this is keeping it out of my face. There's sunshine coming in. It's been about a week since there's been some, so I'm going to sing something cheerful. It's fare thee well, cold winter, and fare thee well, cold frost. Nothing have I gained, but a lover I have lost. Well, if he love another, and together they're agreed, I can find another lover. Let him go, then farewell he. Last night I saw my true love all down in yonder glen. I gave to him a smile, but not a word came from my love. Well, if he love another, and together they're agreed, I can find another lover. Let him go, then farewell he. Take half an ounce of reason, half an ounce of common sense, a sprig of time and season, a little sage prudence. Mix them well together, and I think you'll plainly see he's no lad for windy weather. Let him go, then farewell he.
That's it.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, short and sweet, Deirdre. Yeah, thank you. And you've bought us a bit of time for after all the ballads, so that's quite good actually. Okay, it's over to Tom Reid now, and then something from Doreen later.
Thank you, Amanda. Oh boy, I enjoyed Dave's Union song. It inspired me for old days on picket lines. I used to be the official picket line singer once upon a time. So, a few years ago, I had an argument with Gravity, and Gravity won. And I found myself lying on the pavement, contemplating my mortality. And thought, shit, I haven't written a song for it yet. So I decided I better write a song for my own funeral. It's not miserable, I promise. Time will soon be coming when I'm bound for moving on, when the autumn leaves have fallen and the swallows have all gone, when the north wind comes a-blowing and the frost is on the pine. I will head on down the highway for the end of the line. At the end of the line where the rivers all run dry, where the forest and the meadow meet the ocean and the sky. In that valley of forever, there'll be no more hills to climb. I'll be waiting for you, darling, at the end of the line. Back a river to the ocean, there will be no turning back. When I take my final journey down that lonely one-way track, I'll be standing on the platform when the bells begin to chime, for that midnight train to take me to the end of the line. At the end of the line where the rivers all run dry, where the forest and the meadow meet the ocean and the sky. In that valley of forever, there'll be no more hills to climb. I'll be waiting for you, darling, at the end of the line. When my ship comes into harbour, I'll be waiting on the shore. All my troubles far behind me, I won't need them anymore. With a fair wind in the rigging at the turning of the tide, I will sail through peaceful waters for the end of the line. At the end of the line where the rivers all run dry, where the forest and the meadow meet the ocean and the sky. In that valley of forever, there'll be no more hills to climb. I'll be waiting for you, darling, at the end of the line. At the end of the line where the rivers all run dry, where the forest and the meadow meet the ocean and the sky. In that valley of forever, there'll be no more hills to climb. I'll be waiting for you, darling, at the end of the line. Ooh-hoo.
Perfect, Anne. Wonderful.
Great stuff, Tom. I hope you don't need it in earnest for a long time yet. Okay, over to Doreen now. And after Doreen, could we have John Pole?
Okay. Right, I'm going to sing a song that's probably going to make my hay fever even worse than it is now, because it's full of flowers, but off we go. It's, I think, the first song that Cecil Sharp collected, The Seeds of Love, and this is a version from Pop Maynard singing. Okay, I'll get my notes. I sowed the seeds of love, and I planted them in the spring, and I sowed it all one May morning, while the small birds they did sing, while the small birds they did sing. Oh, I locked my garden gate, and I chose for to keep the key, until some young man came courting me, and he stole my heart away. He stole my heart away. Oh, the gardener was standing by, and I asked him to choose for me. And he chose me the violet, the lily and the pink. All those flowers I refused, all three. All those flowers I refused, all three. For the violet I did not like. Oh, because it would fade too soon. And the lily and the pink I did really overthink. And I vowed I would stay till June. I vowed I would stay till June, for in June blooms a red rosebud, and that is the flower for me. Oft times I have plucked the red rosebud, till I gained the willow tree. Till I gained the willow tree. Oh, the willow it will twist, and the willow it will twine, and so will that false and deluded young man who stole the heart of mine, who stole the heart of mine. So come all you false young men, take a warning please from me, for the grass that you oft times have trampled underfoot, give it time, it will rise again. Give it time, it will rise again. Oh, I sowed the seeds of a love, and I sowed them all in the spring. I sowed them all on a May morning, while the sweet birds they did sing, while the small birds they did sing.
Thanks, Doreen. That's a song that I've rarely actually heard sung, despite its importance in the traditional song movement. So thank you. Okay, it's over to John Pole now, and then could we have something from Stacey Roth? Can't hear you, John. You'll have to unmute.
I've unmuted myself now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sing a song about people being professional folk singers, written by my old friend Miles Wotton, who spent a lot of time doing what he describes here. He called it folk scene. And I must apologise for my singing, which isn't as good as his. I've been a folk singer since I was a lad. I've sung in the good clubs, I've sung in the bad. and many's the terrible time that I've had, and wished I had stuck to the teaching. You drive through the rain in your leaky old car, just make it in time and unpack the guitar, but both of the audience are still in the bar, and it's all because you're a folk singer. They tell you that nobody's ever on time, then three drunks arrive at 9:15. They're expecting a disco, but still never mind. You might as well sing The Wild Rover. You've forgotten the words and your tuning's not right. The drunks in the back row have started a fight. The pub's got an extension, you might be here all night. And it's all because you're a folk singer. It's full singing time now, the interval's gone. There'll be 3 Martin Carthys and 1 Elton John. Some hippies with sitar, tin whistle and gong, and a bloke playing punk concertina. Now it's gone 10:30, and it's your turn once more. The drunks at the back have collapsed on the floor. Someone in the front row has started to snore, and it's all because you're a folk singer. You're on your last song, and your voice disappears. A burst of indifference deafens your ears. The drunk shout encore and confirm your worst fears. They all want to hear Streets of London. You look for the bloke with the cash, but he's gone. His mate says he'll send you a cheque later on. You say that's okay, but you know it's a con, and it's all because you're a folk singer. You climb into the car for the journey back home. After 10 miles, the big end starts to groan. You grind to a halt 7 miles from a phone, and your AA subscription's expired. You sleep in your car to the sound of the rain. You're cold, tired and broke, and you're feeling the strain. But you'd love it and know that you'll do it again. And it's all because you're a singer. The Folk Singer by Miles Wootton.
Wonderful, John.
Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. Thanks, John. Very funny. Bizarrely, I can hear myself. I have an echo. I hope that's not bothering other people. Let me know if it is. Okay, it's time for Stacey. And Stacey, I don't think you've sung here for a long time.
Not for a long time, no.
Welcome back.
Thanks, I've been listening.
For Stacey, Paddy Hanlon, please.
All right, well, I must say I've really been enjoying tuning in on Tuesdays and listening to all the wonderful songs. And it's been really lovely. So today, lately I've been talking with other people about how when you get older, you kind of start to think of things that people who are 30 or 40 years younger will never experience, like dialing a rotary phone or using a typewriter, or having things like milk and eggs delivered to the door by tradesmen. And Simon today earlier mentioned somebody coming by with onions. And so those are some of the things that we experience that people today won't. So this song is about some of the tradesmen, some of whom go to door to door. And the song asks the question, can people who are work very hard, sometimes at tedious and dangerous jobs, ever be happy? And it comes from a publication from 1609 by Thomas Ravenscroft. It is called who liveth so merry. Who liveth so merry in all of this land, as doth the poor widow that selleth the sand? And never she singeth, as I can guess, will you buy any sand, mistress? The broom man maketh his living most sweet, with carrying of brooms from street to street. Who would desire a pleasanter thing than all the day long to do nothing but sing? The chimney sweeper all the long day, he singeth and sweepeth the soot away. Yet when he comes home, although he be weary, with his sweet wife he maketh full merry. The cobbler he sits cobbling till noon, and cobbleth his shoon till they be done. Yet doth he not fear, and so doth say, for he knows that his work will soon decay. The merchantman doth sail on the seas, and lies on the shipboard with little ease, always in doubt, the rocks be near. How can he be merry and make good cheer? The husbandman all day goeth to plough, and when he comes home he serveth his sow. He moileth and toileth all the long year. How can he be merry and make good cheer? The serving man waiteth from street to street, with blowing of nails and beating his feet, and serveth for 40 shillings a year. On that 'tis impossible to make good cheer. Who liveth so merry and maketh such sport as those that be of the poorest sort? The poorest sort, whosoe'er they may be, they gather together by 1, 2, and 3, and every man shall spend his penny. What makes such a shot among the great many?
Wonderful stuff.
Lovely, Stacey. I hope you'll sing more often when you are here, rather than lurking. Okay, it's over to Paddy now, and after Paddy, Declan Coyne.
Rock on, Thomas Ravencroft. Yeah. I've had a request too, but I'm going to sing anyway. This is the simplest song, but I've been in love with the melody for 50 years or more. You can hear me, I take it? Oh, good. Fare thee well, my lovely Nancy, for it's now I must leave you. Unto the salt seas I am bound for to go. But let my long absence be no trouble to you, for I will return in the spring, as you know. Like some pretty little sea boy, I will dress and sail with you. In the deepest of dangers, I shall stand your friend. In the cold stormy weather, when the winds they are a-blowing, my love, I'll be willing to wait upon you then. Your pretty little hands cannot handle our tackle, your pretty little feet to our topmast can't go. and the cold stormy weather, love you never would endure. And so, lovely Nancy, to the sea do not go. Fare thee well, me lovely Nancy, for it's now I must leave you. Unto the salt seas I am bound for to go. But let my long absence be no trouble to you, for I will return in the spring, as you know.
Lovely.
I like it, Paddy. I like it very much. Thank you. Okay, it's time for Declan now, and then it will be Elizabeth Block.
Okay, can you hear me all right?
That's a yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I didn't expect to be singing tonight. I was late joining you. But here we go. This one I learned from great Robbie McMahon from County Clare about 35 years ago. And it also appears in the Sam Henry collection. It's The Whistling Thief. Oh, Pat came over the hill, his true love her to see, his whistling low and shrill. A sign is sure to be, oh Mary, I hear it now, there's whistling there for sure. Oh mother, it is the wind, you know, that's whistling through the door with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la-la-la, fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay. I've lived a long time, Mary, in this old house, my dear, but the wind a whistle like that I have yet to hear. Oh, mother, you know the fiddle, it is close behind the chink, and the wind upon the strings is playing a tune, I think, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la-la-la, me fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay. The dog is barking now, the fiddle don't play the tune. Oh, mother, you know what to say. Dog's back when they see the moon. But how can he see the moon when he is old and blind? Blind dogs don't back the moon, me girl. The fiddles don't play the wind with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la-la-la, me fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay. And now I hear the pig uneasy in his mind. Oh, mother, you know what to say. That pigs can see the wind. That's true enough by day, but then you must remark that pigs no more than we can see anything in the dark. With me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la, me fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay. I'm not such a fool as you think. You know very well 'tis Pat. Go home, you whistling thief, and do get away out of that. And you get into bed, don't buy me with your tears. I might have lost me sight, me girl, but I haven't lost me ears. With me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Me fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay. Now, boys, when you go courting, for your sweetheart's sake, take care not to whistle too loud, in case the old woman might wake. For the days when she was young, forget them she never can. She learned to know the difference between a fiddle, a dog, and a man. With me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la-la-la, me fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la. Fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay, with me, fa-la-la-lo-ra-la-la-la, me fa-la-la-lo-ra-lay. There you go.
Well sung, well sung.
That was as cheerful as anything. Not what we've come to expect from you, Declan, but good fun. Thank you. Okay, over to Elizabeth Block and then Maureen Hannah.
First, I would like to offer a verse that I wrote for Stay Will We Yet. And here's to the rain that waters the crops, though we who came without umbrellas hope that it stops. And yet, if it doesn't, we'll not be too upset. We've been soaked and all got dry again, and say will we yet. I know it to a different tune, obviously. This is, I'm going to do Shelley Posen's Old Songs Home. I understand that he was wondering what happens to old songs when they're no longer sung. Well, they go and live in the old songs home. On a lonely street at twilight, on my way home from the store, I passed a rundown mansion I had never seen before. The walls were cracked and peeling, with ivy overgrown, and the sign upon the threshold said the old songs home. Well, sometimes curiosity is not to be denied. I stepped up to the open door and took a peek inside. Soft echoes of 1,000 songs at once caressed my ear, but somehow I could hear each one complete and crystal clear. In the old songs home, the old songs live together. In the old songs home, when the world has passed them by, they come here when their last note's sung, unnoticed and unknown. They echo here forever in the old songs home. I heard shanties that helped raise the sails of 1,000 clipper ships. Hits from Tin Pan Alley once on everybody's lips. I heard songs the cowboys sang their herds where the buffalo used to roam, but no coyotes answered in the old songs home. I heard songs once sung in factory towns, in logging camps and mines, songs that striking workers sang while walking picket lines. I heard songs that played the Palace and the New York Hippodrome. Every night they bring the house down in the old songs home. In the old songs home, the old songs live together. In the old songs home, when the world has passed them by, they come here when their last note's sung, unnoticed and unknown. They echo here forever in the old songs home. Now every old song has a dream that glimmers now and then, of living in the world once more and being sung again. So friends, if you love singing, low, high, or monotone, there's an old song waiting for you in the old songs home. In the old songs home, the old songs live together. In the old songs home, when the world has passed them by, they come here when their last note's sung, unnoticed and unknown. They echo here forever in the old songs home. They echo here forever in the old songs home. They echo here forever in the old songs home.
Beautiful.
Let's face it, Elizabeth, you're just talking about sharps, aren't you? It's perfect for this. Okay, it is time now for Maureen Hannah, and after Maureen, let's have David Diamond, and then I will close the evening.
Thank you. So this is a song by Alistair McGilvray, written about the Myra River in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Song for the Myra. Out on the Myra on warm afternoons, old men go fishing with black line and spoons, and if they catch nothing, they never complain. I wish I was with them again. As boys in their boats call to girls on the shore, teasing the ones that they dearly adore. And into the evening the courting begins, and I wish I was with them again. Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings? I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. Out on the Myra on soft summer nights, bonfires blaze to the children's delight. They dance round the flame singing songs with their friends, and I wish I was with them again. And over the ashes, the stories are told of witches and werewolves and Oak Island gold. Stars on the river face sparkle and spin. I wish I was with them again. Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings? I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. Out on the Myra, the people are kind. They treat you to homebrew and help you unwind. And if you come broken, they'll see that you mend. And I wish I was with them again. Now I'll conclude with a wish you go well. Sweet be your dreams and your happiness swell. I'll leave you here for my journey begins. I'm going to be with them again. Can you imagine a piece of the universe more fit for princes and kings? I'll trade you 10 of your cities for Marion Bridge and the pleasure it brings. I wish I was with them. I wish I was with them. I'm going to be with them again. Alistair McGilvray.
Hey. So, that's all.
Nicely done, Maureen. Thank you. Some debate about giving credit to singers and to writers in the chat, which I hope no one falls foul of. Okay, it's over to David Diamond now, and I think that will, after I've sung to close the I will close the evening after David, because that will probably take us nicely up to 11. So over to you, David.
Oh, thank you. I'm afraid I'm going to do a dreadful deed, or maybe I'm not sure. I always had the feeling about this song that I should never sing it in the on the folk scene, because it was all beaten to death at various points, but maybe I just heard it too often. It's the very first long song that I ever learned. And it came out of the 1930s and was sung by Frank Crumit, but I have no idea who wrote it. I wasn't really sure I was going to sing it, so I didn't do the research. But here we go.
The sons of the prophet, no, I think we'll go with that. The sons of the prophet were brave men and bold, and quite unaccustomed to fear. But the bravest by far in the ranks of the Shah was Abdul Abul Amir. Now the heroes were plenty and well known to fame in the troops that were led by the Tsar. And the bravest of these was a man by the name of Ivan Stravinsky Scrivar. One day this bold Russian had shouldered his gun and donned his most truculent sneer. Downtown he did go, where he trod on the toe of Abdul Abul Amir. Young man, quoth Abdul, has life grown to so dull that you wish to end your career? Violin, fiddle, no, you have trod on the toe of Abdul Abul Amir. Said Ivan, my friend, your remarks in the end will avail you but little, I fear, for you ne'er will survive to repeat them alive. Mr. Abdul Abul Amir. Then take your last look at sunshine and brook and send your regrets to the Tsar. For by this I imply you are going to die, Count Ivan Stravinsky Scrivar. Then that bold Mameluke drew his trusty skibbook with a cry of Allah Akbar, and ferociously went with murderous intent for Ivan Stravinsky Scrivar. They fought all that night neath the pale yellow moon. The din it was heard from afar. Great multitudes came, so great was the fame of Abdul and Ivan Scrivar. As Abdul's long knife was extracting the life, in fact, he was shouting, "Huzzah!" He felt himself struck by that wily Kalmuck, Count Ivan Stravinsky Scrivar. The Sultan drove by in his red-breasted fly, expecting the victor to cheer, but he only drew nigh to hear the last sigh of Abdul Abul Amir. Tsar Petrovich, too, in his spectacles blue, drove up in a new crested car. He arrived just in time to exchange a last line with Ivan Stravinsky Scrivar. There's a tomb rises up where the blue Danube flows, engraved there in characters clear. Stranger, when passing, pray for the soul of Abdul Abul Amir. There's a Muscovite maiden, a lone vigil keeps, neath the light of the pale polar star. And the name that she murmurs so oft as she weeps, is Ivan Skravinsky Skraba.
All right, tearjerker, David. Thank you. Not something I've heard before at all. Brilliant. Okay, so the evening is nearly finished. I am going to sing a parting song to finish us off. But before that, many thanks to Livy on the mute button, to David for his efforts compiling the index for the evening, and to everybody else for being here and making the evening what it was. I am putting some words to a chorus in a chat, which may help you if you don't know this song. It is In Friendship's Name from, known from the singing of Willie Scott. I learned it from Gordina McCulloch when I was in the Eurydice choir in Glasgow. So please do all join in, and it's the end of the evening. So let it rip. Here in the Ingle blazing was he happy and sae free, though the northern winds blow freezy, friendship warms baith you and me. Happy we've been all together, canty we've been yin and all. Time shall see us all mair blither, ere we rise to gang awa. See the miser o'er his treasure, gloating wi' a greedy, wha can fill his ears wi' pleasure, as around us here we see. Happy we've been all together, canty we've been yin and all. Time shall see us all mair blither, ere we rise to gang awa. Can the peer in silk and ermine caw his conscience off his ain? His clays are edged and spun wi' vermin, though he sits upon a throne. Happy we've been all together, canty we've been yin and all. Time shall see us all mair blither, ere we rise to gang awa. Thus then let us all be tassin', though o'er the stoops a generous fame, and while round the board is passin', raise a sang in friendship's name. Happy we've been all together, canty we've been yin and all. Time shall see us all mair blither, ere we rise to gang awa. Friendship makes us all mair happy, friendship gies us all delight. Friendship consecrates the drappy, friendship brought us here the night. Happy we've been all together, canty we've been yin and all. Time shall see us all mair blither, ere we rise to gang awa.
Well sung, Amanda.
Thank you. And good night.
And good night. Thank you.
Good week.
Thank you all. Thanks, Amanda, Livy, David, everyone. See you all
Thank you
soon.
so much, Amanda, and everyone for organizing
Yes.
it. Have a great
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
You too.
Maggie.
I'll.
Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.